The fact that you just traded on that proves that you can't be trusted.
Hands in the air. Turn around slowly.
I cannot believe you just asked me
You
that.
respected me enough not to lie to my face.
We took that final step and lived to tell the tale.
Breaking news from Port Charles. A secret has just been ripped open. One that Lulu Spencer has been hiding in the shadows for weeks. A scandal so explosive, so personal, that the people closest to her may never recover. And tonight, Port Charles is already burning. Welcome back to General Hospital Media, the channel where Port Charles never sleeps and the truth never stays buried for long. I'm coming to you live with a developing situation that is unfolding on multiple fronts right now. If you have been following this week's episodes closely, you already felt something shifting. Something simmering just beneath the surface. Well, today, Wednesday, April 29th, that surface cracked wide open. We are tracking three major storylines that are colliding in real time. Lulu Spencer's secret affair is no longer a secret. Lulu Spencer is caught in the crossfire, and she is not okay. And Brennan just dropped a bombshell on Nina Reeves that no one saw coming. Stay with us. This one is going to shake you. To understand just how devastating today's update is, you need to know where things stood going into the week. Port Charles has always been a city built on love, loyalty, and betrayal. And right now, all three are colliding at full speed. Lulu Spencer, a woman who has clawed her way through more heartbreak than most people could survive, finds herself once again at the center of a scandal not entirely of her making. Or so she's told herself. But the walls she carefully constructed around this secret have finally given way. Meanwhile, Lulu Spencer, who has already endured so much, whose comeback to Port Charles was supposed to be a fresh start, is now being dragged into a nightmare she didn't ask for and absolutely did not deserve. The connection between Lulu's horror and Carly's secret is something viewers are still piecing together. And when they do, the reaction will be seismic. And on the other side of Port Charles, Nina Reeves thought she had finally found a moment of stillness, some peace after the tornado of her recent life. But Jack Brennan just walked into her orbit with information that will shatter whatever calm she'd managed to hold onto. 3 women, 3 stories, 1 city about to erupt. Let's go back, because the cracks in Carly's world didn't appear overnight. For weeks, sharp-eyed viewers noticed small things. Carly flinching at certain names. Phone calls cut short. That particular way she changes the subject when the conversation gets too close to the truth. In Port Charles, silence has always been the loudest confession. Sources inside the storyline confirm that Carly had been quietly navigating a deeply complicated entanglement, one that crossed a line she swore she would never cross again. Was it a moment of weakness? A slow emotional drift? The specifics are still emerging. But what's clear is this: she knew. She knew exactly what she was doing, and she chose to protect the secret over protecting the people who trusted her most. That choice, that single sustained decision, is what's coming back for her now. Here's where it gets truly painful. Because this isn't just about Carly making a mistake. It's about who that mistake involves and what it means for the web of relationships around her. The name attached to this scandal lands in the middle of Lulu's life, like a grenade. That's not an accident, and it's not a coincidence. The writers of General Hospital have been threading this needle for weeks, and today, the needle finally pierces through. Lulu, who returned to Port Charles carrying her own emotional scars, finds herself looking at a situation she cannot process. The betrayal isn't abstract for her. It's visceral. It touches something she has already lost, already grieved, already tried to move past. To have it resurface, wrapped in Carly's secret, is a cruelty that even Port Charles doesn't dish out lightly. In the quieter moments between characters today, you can see it in Lulu's eyes. The horror isn't anger yet. It's disbelief, the kind that comes right before everything breaks. So how does the secret actually leak? Word from today's update suggests it wasn't a dramatic unmasking. It wasn't someone storming into a room with evidence in hand. It was quieter than that. And somehow that makes it worse. A conversation overheard. A message that found the wrong eyes. The kind of mundane accident that great drama is built on. Because it reminds us that secrets don't always die in fire. Sometimes they die in a whisper. Once the information begins to travel, it moves fast. Port Charles is a small world with long memories, and the moment one person knows, the clock is ticking. Characters who had been operating in blissful ignorance are suddenly forced to reckon with a version of reality they didn't know existed. And Carly? She finds out the secret is out not from a confrontation, but from the sudden, cold shift in someone's eyes. The moment a person looks at you and you realize they know. That moment, that's what hits her today. The confrontation, when it comes, is devastating in its restraint. Lulu doesn't scream. She doesn't throw things. She doesn't do any of the things Port Charles characters are known for in high-octane moments. She simply stands there, and that stillness is more powerful than any explosion could be. "I trusted you," she says, and the words land like a verdict. Carly, for once in her life, has no rapid-fire comeback. No justification ready on her lips. She opens her mouth, and for a moment, nothing comes out. Because what do you say to someone standing in the wreckage of something you caused? "I never meant for this to." Stop. Lulu's voice is barely above a whisper. Just stop. It's two women who have shared history, shared grief, shared the complicated landscape of loving and losing in this city. And right now, one of them is looking at the other like a stranger. That image, Lulu's face in that moment, is going to be one of the most talked about scenes of the week. Mark those words. With the confrontation barely over, the fallout is already spreading through Port Charles like smoke under a door. People are choosing sides, not loudly, but in the way that really counts. In who picks up the phone and who lets it ring. In who shows up and who suddenly has somewhere else to be. Carly is left holding the full weight of what she's done, with no one to share the load, at least not yet. And that isolation, for a woman who has built her entire identity around being someone people run to, it is its own kind of punishment. But here's where today's update takes an unexpected turn. Because across town, something else is happening that threatens to make everything worse. Jack Brennan approaches Nina Reeves with the energy of someone carrying a secret too heavy to hold alone. And what he tells her, what he reveals about the circumstances surrounding Carly's scandal, connects dots that Nina never knew were on the same page. Because Brennan knows something. Something about why this happened. Something about the people involved that reframes the entire situation. And here's the gut punch. The detail that turns the story from a personal scandal into something with much larger consequences. The person at the center of Carly's secret? They have ties to Nina's world too. This isn't just Carly's mess to clean up anymore. This is a thread that, if pulled, unravels multiple lives simultaneously. Brennan laying this at Nina's feet isn't an act of kindness. It's a chess move. And Nina, standing there absorbing every word, knows it. Her expression shifts from shock to grief to something harder. Something that looks a lot like resolve. Port Charles just got significantly more dangerous for everyone involved. So where does this leave everyone as Wednesday closes out? Carly is fractured, but not broken, not yet. She's going to need to make a choice very soon. Come clean on her own terms, or let the story continue to tell itself without her. Neither option is safe. Lulu is pulling back from the people around her, from the city, from the version of herself she came back here trying to rebuild. The question now is whether someone reaches her before she retreats completely. Nina walks away from her conversation with Brennan carrying a weight she didn't ask for and a decision that only she can make. Does she use what she knows? Does she protect someone who has never fully protected her? Or does she, for once, protect herself first? And Brennan, coolly unpredictable as ever, has set something in motion and stepped back to watch it play out. In Port Charles, that's almost always the most dangerous thing a person can do. The threads are live, the damage is spreading, and we are nowhere near the end of this story. Now I want to hear from you, because this episode raises a question that I genuinely cannot stop thinking about. Was Carly wrong? Absolutely. But does Lulu's reaction suggest there's more to this story than we're being shown? Something Carly might have been reacting to? And what about Brennan telling Nina? Was that a warning, a weapon, or something else entirely? Drop your take in the comments right now. The best theories and reactions get featured in our next update. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next in Port Charles. If this update had you gripping your screen, and I know it did, do 3 things for me right now. Hit that like button. It tells us you want more of this, and it helps the channel more than you know. Subscribe and ring that notification bell, because these Port Charles fires don't wait, and neither should you. Comment your reaction. Carly, Nina, Lulu, Brennan, who are you most worried about heading into Thursday? Tell us everything. Share this video, because every General Hospital fan in your life needs to be caught up. Don't let them walk into tomorrow's episode blind. You are the reason General Hospital Media keeps growing, and we do not take that lightly. Thank you. This is General Hospital Media, your home for every twist, every secret, and every devastating moment from the streets of Port Charles. What happened today? That was just the opening act. The confrontations ahead are bigger. The reveals are deeper. And the fallout from Wednesday's earthquake is going to reshape this story in ways no one is fully prepared for. Stay close. Stay subscribed. Because in Port Charles, the truth never stays buried. And the next breaking update is already on its way.